These dolls were made by an artist whose name is Denise White. They're stuffed dolls and they have a front and a back, which means that they are three-dimensional because you can see all sides of them. I'm showing them to you because they remind me of the kind of stuffed doll that we're going to be making. This is the one that I'm going to be showing you how to make, but there's all kinds of possibilities as far as clothes and hair that you can put on your little character. You start out with a pattern. You can make your own or you can use one that the teacher made. And 2 pieces of paper, exactly the same size, folded in half the hot dog way. Alright, now I take my pattern, and that also has a hot dog bun fold in it, and I lay it right across the other fold, kind of like I'm putting a saddle on a horse, and make sure that the folds are right up against each other and that it's not really loose on there. And then I want to carefully trace the body of this figure that I'm going to be making. You want the 2 pieces to be as close to being exactly the same as possible. So I'm still holding on to 2 pieces of paper at the same time. And I'm cutting on the line that I just drew, but I'm not cutting on the fold. Now if I did this successfully, when I open it up I'll have the whole doll and it'll be symmetrical. The sides will be exactly the same. Alright, now I take one of the pieces off and I'm going to glue the 2 pieces together. I'm using a trail of dots all around the outside of this doll, all the way down the arm and around until I get to the bottom, and I'm not doing the bottom. I'm leaving the bottom open so that when we finish we can put stuffing in and make it sort of three-dimensional, which means that you can see it from different sides and it's not just like a picture. Alright, now I lay the other one on top carefully, and this is important to get them matched up as exactly the same as possible and to get the edges all securely glued down. If you don't do that, then the stuffing will come out from all the places that are left open. You don't really want that to happen. Alright, now you can draw the features on and you can put any kind of expression on that you want. And I'm just making a simple one like this. I'm making hair from this yellow piece of construction paper. It's all I had to use right now, but you can use any color you want. Still important to trace the head so that the hair is going to fit the head. Now you can make the bangs any way you want. You can have them straight across, or you can have them like that, or you can have it over to the side. There's all kinds of different ways that people wear their hair, and you can take advantage of any one of those ways. What I did just now is I marked about where the eyebrows are so that when I make the bangs they don't hang in her eyes. And so you'll want to mark where your doll's eyebrows are unless you want the hair to hang in its face. And I'm drawing bangs right now. Now the back of the hair has to be measured with the head also, and so I'm going to do that again. So I trace around the head like that, and then I have to decide how I want it to look in the back, and I can make it short or I can make it long, and this is how I've decided to make it. Alright, I've cut the hair out and now it's time to glue it on. So I'm going to glue on the front part first, and I'm just going to make a trail of dots around the top of the head like that, and carefully put the hair in place on the front. Now I can turn her over, and I'm putting glue dots only on the head part. Just a trail of dots like that, and carefully lining the edge of the hair up with the edge of the head and pressing down. So now she has long hair in the back and bangs in the front. Alright, now to make clothes for the doll and to make them fit, you need to use the doll for a pattern. And you can see the places where I'm drawing around the doll so that I can make the shirt fit. Draw around your doll where you see me drawing around my doll. Alright. Think of all of the different kinds of necklines you can make. You can make round ones, or you can make a V-neck, and I'm going to make a V-neck. But if you look around at things that your friends have on, you might come up with some other ideas. Make the bottom of the sleeves, and then make the bottom of the shirt. The back of the shirt has to be measured the same way, and so I'll do that first. I'll use the doll for my pattern to make the shirt fit, and I'm trying to make it the same kind of shirt that I made for the front part. That's only logical. Alright, now when I remove it, I don't need to make any kind of a special neckline for the back. I just need to make a curved line like this and make the bottom of the shirt. After cutting out the pieces of the shirt, then the next thing, of course, is to glue it on. And after making sure that it fits, I put my trail of dots around the edge of the shirt, just like this. They don't have to be real close to each other, and it doesn't have to be really thick glue. And you don't even really need to put it on the bottom, but you should put it down the sides. And you very carefully press it into place so that it fits the doll the way you want it to. Alright, now the second part needs to go on under the hair, which is why I didn't glue the hair down except on the head. So I lift up the hair and I make my trail of dots all the way around like that, wherever the edges of the shirt are going to be, and very carefully press that into place as well. Okay, and there we have the front and the back of the shirt. Alright, now I'm making the pants, but you can make the skirt the same way if you want to make a skirt. And what I need is two pieces of paper together, so that's why I folded that piece. And now I lay the doll on, and I'm using the doll for a pattern again, so that the pants fit my doll. And you see where I'm drawing. I'm drawing around the edge of the doll. And then when I remove it, I make the top edge of the pants. And right now all it looks like is a rectangle. And I cut it out. And when I cut it out, I'm going to end up with two pieces, the front and the back of the pants. Now to put these pants on the doll, I left the end of the shirt unglued so that I could put the pants up underneath the shirt and have it hanging over. And now I'm going down the sides of the doll with dots of glue, and I'll press this into place and put the shirt down, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Alright, now I'm going to add some details to the clothes, and you can do the same thing. I had to decide what kind of a neckline I'm going to make on my shirt, and I decided on a collar like this. But that doesn't mean that's the kind you have to make. You can make other kinds. I put buttons. You don't have to put buttons. You can make patterns. You can put cuffs on your sleeves if you want to. I'm giving fingers to the doll right now. And I do a line up through the middle to show that the pants have 2 legs. And I'm making cuffs on the pants. Alright, turn it over. Now remember, this is 3-dimensional, so any details that are on the back need to also be there. So think about what a person looks like from the back if you're standing looking at them. You'd still see both legs of the pants from the back, wouldn't you? And the shirt might actually have some more details too. But I'm going to put some back pockets on the jeans as well. Now I'm making some big shoes for this doll, and I'm folding the paper in half so that I can have 2 pieces of paper at once. And they're going to be big shoes. It's kind of a cartoony type of a doll. And I'm drawing the foot as if I was looking down at it from standing up. I'm adding this little piece on top because that's the tab that I'm going to fold so that I can glue the feet to the bottom of the legs. And remember, I've got 2 thicknesses of paper here, so when I finish I'm going to have 2 shoes like that. And I have to remember that I have them turned the same way. Alright, see how I'm folding this one up on the line? I'm also folding the other one up about that much too. And that's what's going to attach the shoes to the bottom of the pants right there. Well, nowadays we have all kinds of interesting details on shoes, and you can look at yours and put on the same details that you have, or you can make them up completely, or you can make your shoes but change them a little bit to make them more interesting. It all is up to you. And I'm just making shoelaces on these ones. And if you look at the bottom of your shoes, chances are you have a really interesting design on the tread too. All kinds of lines going in certain directions. And so I'm drawing tread on the bottom of these shoes, and this is the way the lines are going to go on the bottom of these shoes. Now on yours, you might even have the treads that make a picture of something, because sometimes they make shoes that way nowadays. Alright, now I open up the bottom of the doll and see how it has a front and a back. Well, the shoes are going to be glued to the front, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm putting a few dots of glue on each one of these tabs that are bent up, and I'm opening up the bottom of the doll, and I'm sliding these shoes in and then pressing the front down on top of them. Doing the same thing with this one. Now these will have to dry quite a bit before we stuff the doll, or they're going to come apart. After the glue has had time to dry, then I'm opening up the puppet, and I'm going to slide my hand inside to make sure that the puppet is open all the way down so that I can stuff it with paper. I've got my hand all the way down into the head. I don't have to worry about the arms. And I've got newspaper that I've torn up, and I'm making it into little wad up balls, and I'm sticking it inside my puppet very carefully. And the first paper that I put in, I go all the way down to the head. And then the next paper is going to be farther down from the head until I get all the way down to finish stuffing the doll's whole body. Hopefully you've glued it well enough that the stuffing is not going to come out through the sides, and hopefully it's been sitting and drying long enough that it won't come apart. Alright, now the last thing I do is I have to glue that opening together. So here's where I put the glue. And then I have to press it down in place, and it's going to need to be held in place in order to dry, otherwise it'll come apart because of the pressure on it from the paper inside. So you might want to use a paper clip or something to hold it in place until it dries. Now the next thing that we can do is give the doll some better looking hands than the ones we have here. And now we'll add the hands. To make the hands, take a piece of paper and fold it in half, because you're going to need a front and the back for the hands. And fold it in half again, and then that way you'll get enough for 2 hands. Alright, then what you want to do is measure it by laying it underneath the arm there so that you get it to fit, and just draw like a mitten shape and draw it so that it fits the little arm stump there. And then holding it together, go ahead and cut it out. You'll have 4 when you get done because you're going to have 4 thicknesses. But be sure and hold it together. Okay, so here's front and the back for each side. First I'm going to do the back. So I'll take one mitten shape and I'll put some dots of glue around the outside of it. Like that. That's enough glue. And then I'm going to bring it up and press it to the little arm stump right there. And put a little bit more glue right across the sleeve, right across the end of the sleeve. And put the front of the mitten on there and just press it together, and I might need to use something to hold it together while it dries so it doesn't come apart in the meantime. And then I do the same to the other side. I take the back and I put some glue on it, just some dots around the edge, and press it up so that it overlaps the sleeve on the back of the arm stump. Put a little bit of glue right across the end of the sleeve there, and then put the front of the mitten on there and press it down like I did the other one. Here's how she looks from the back. And now one more thing I want to do is put some lines to show that there's fingers there so they don't end up staying mittens. The mitten form is just easy to make is all. So I'm going to put 3 lines in each hand, and that'll make 4 fingers. And now my doll is done.